Hello there. I got a comment recently that really made me think. It was a comment asking if I would ever talk about how stupid the characters in High Guardian Spice are. Now, I'm assuming you've read the title of this video before you clicked on it, so you probably know that's what we're going to do here today. To clarify, when I say the characters are stupid, I don't mean that in the sense that they're bad characters. I do think they're bad characters, but that's not what I'm talking about. When I say the characters are stupid, I mean that in a more literal sense, like they're kind of morons. One thing that I want to make apparent right away is that I'm not talking about the kind of idiots that are made to be dumb on purpose, like Rosemary and Aster. Both of these characters are meant to be stupid, that's the whole point. What I'm talking about is unintentional stupidity. Characters who are supposed to be smart making really dumb decisions because of bad writing. Now, I'm not just here to tell you that the characters are idiots. You probably already figured that part out for yourself. What I'm trying to tell you is why they're idiots, why they end up acting so stupid. Now, the reason why these characters are stupid could be explained pretty easily in like 5 seconds flat. If you want to turn off the video after hearing this, you can get away with that because it explains 90% of the dumb decisions the characters make. The reason why characters end up making the worst decisions possible is because the writers want them to be stupid. But hold on a minute, you may be asking, didn't you say this was about unintentional stupidity? If the writers wanted the characters to be dumb on purpose, then isn't this not a problem? You see, the issue is the writers have characterized these people to be intelligent beforehand, so when they later flip the script and decide to make them idiots because they want to, it doesn't make any sense. The difference between someone like Rosemary lacking common sense in certain situations and Sage doing the same thing is that Rosemary has been characterized to be an idiot consistently. Her making dumb decisions is 100% believable.
That's what I've been trying to tell you about myself, who does dumb stuff all the time!
If Rosemary were to become super intelligent just out of nowhere, then that would be inconsistent with her character. Unless, of course, she went through some kind of character growth, but this is High Guardian Spice, that doesn't happen that often. Now, Sage, on the other hand, is meant to be intelligent. She's a skilled magic user who's proficient in old magic and was also able to make a cure to a very devastating poison on the first day of school before any training. Sage is shown to be very book smart and also very cautious about school. She's constantly stressing about her school life and how she can improve herself. She's also capable of piecing together plans out of nowhere to help the girls get out of dangerous situations, like when they were trapped in the cave. So the question remains, why would they want a character like this, who is clearly supposed to be intelligent, to act like an idiot? Well, to put it simply, it makes the story easier. Take this scene, for example. They want Sage to come up with this crazy plan to summon a dragon from this egg so that they can have a cool scene with the girls flying on a dragon. Dragons are cool, we want a dragon in this episode, let's just do the dragon. Now, setting aside how stupid it is to try and ride a fucking dragon, what they didn't have Sage do in this scene is go, hey, why don't I just make a portal out of here? People with terraspheres in this world can make portals by flicking their wrists. It makes absolutely no sense for Sage not to think of this. And even if she can't do it, she should at least try it. It's not like Sage doesn't know what a portal is. I'm pretty sure their teacher Dretch used a portal in this very episode. So why does it not even cross Sage's mind to try and use this powerful ability to get out of this cave? Put simply, it's because the writers wanted the dragon scene. If Sage used a portal to get out, they wouldn't have the dragon. As I said before at least a dozen times at this point, if the writers want something to happen, they're going to make it happen. Doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense, they're gonna make it happen. And if that comes at the expense of making the characters act like idiots, then they'll do it. This is what I mean when I say the writers want their characters to be stupid. They have to make them stupid in order to make the plot beats they want happen. Now, naturally, this could have been explained pretty simply, like all they would have to do is set some limits for the portals. Just say, I don't know, students can't use them, or maybe Sage used up too much energy in the previous fight. Just give us any sort of limitation to this ability and everything's fine. But the writers don't do that. They don't come up with any limitations for this ability. They don't explain why the students can't use it, and because of that, we can only assume that they can. This is another consequence of adding things into your world without thinking about them first. The writers do that a lot. They'll throw in magic willy-nilly, mech suits, trains, this, that, and the other thing, not thinking about how they would impact the world or their purpose. Honestly, I believe that 99% of the time when they add something, it's just because someone on the writing team thought it would look cool. That's it, they just thought it would look cool. And because the management seemingly lacked the ability to say no, everything gets added in willy-nilly without any thought put into it. Okay, but this is the part where I have to come clean and admit that I was a little facetious earlier when I said that every time the characters act stupid for no reason, it's because the writers want them to be. There is another way you can explain these occurrences, and it's the fact that the writers forgot that the characters could do certain things. Whenever they were making whatever scene they were doing, they just kind of forgot that, oh, this exists. It seems a little dumb, but it actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it. As I said before in my earlier videos, the management for this was kinda scatterbrained. You can look at my video about the school system for more information, but basically the writers were storyboarding stuff before the scripts were even finished. So you have a bunch of people scrambling around, drawing stuff that probably doesn't even exist in the script yet, and it leads to this massive confusion of people not knowing what's in and what's out. So that's another way you could look at it, and it could explain why the characters are acting dumb inconsistently. But honestly, there is no excuse for the dumb ways that these characters act in a lot of scenes. I don't care about your budget. Budget can't buy common sense, unfortunately. If it could, we wouldn't be here right now. Since we were talking about the cave earlier, why were they going into the cave? To get the healing water, of course, the magical plot water that can fix all your problems. It's the kind of water that magically heals people's wounds while also accelerating the age of dragons to the point where they wither into skeletons in a really short amount of time. But the most important aspect is that it's a potential cure for the rot. Just by dropping a little bit of water onto it, you can magically heal away the parts of the tree that have been destroyed by this strange substance we know very little about. Why you would need this water in particular when a terrasphere can do the same job, I don't know. Now, unlike the other characters, Thyme actually has a connection to the rot, meaning she has special interest in this healing water. Her home, the Fairywoods, is being destroyed by the rot, so she's hoping to use this healing water to help fix things by replicating the formula, however that works. This becomes a problem though, because Olive shows up and destroys her only vial of healing water. Big sad. And then she ends up making one of the goofiest looking faces I've ever seen in the show. Like, this became a meme because of how dumb it looks. But why is she sad? I mean, yeah, she lost the healing water, but what's stopping her from just going back into the cave and getting more? The dragon unblocked the doorway, meaning there's still a way into the place where the water is. Even if you were worried about the monsters that exist down there, there's nothing stopping you from just going down the way that the dragon made, aka a giant hole in the side of the mountain. Sage can fly. She could literally just fly right down there and go get some more of the water pretty easily. Even if that wouldn't work, all it would take is for you to ask Aloe and or Anise to just make another portal for you, so you could just portal down there, get the water, and portal right back out. Why is she throwing a hissy fit over losing this water when getting more of the water would be a simple matter of just going back into the cave again? But let's just say for some reason that this wouldn't work. The water's gone because plot, I don't know. What's Thyme's plan then? Well, her plan is to go and summon a demon. Yes, you heard me right. She wants to summon a literal demon. She wants to summon this demon so she can go find her father and replicate the formula somehow. This is stupid on so many levels. First of all, you're summoning a demon, something that's evil and has been fabled to be completely evil and untrustworthy. Secondly, there are tons of easier methods to accomplish this that don't involve demon summoning and putting your life at risk. This one really stupid decision could have led to Thyme's death, and if Parsley wasn't there, that's likely what would have happened. Thyme has been shown to be really intelligent and cunning, and even if she was over-emotional at the time, there's no way she wouldn't have seen that this was a bad idea. Like, it has bad idea written all over it. If this were Rosemary just trying to summon a demon so she could kill it to look cool, that would still kind of be dumb, but I could believe it, because Rosemary would do something like that. But this isn't what's happening here. This is Thyme, a person who's supposed to be intelligent, doing one of the dumbest hold my beer moments I've seen in fiction. If she really wanted this formula replicated, did she ever think of, I don't know, asking the potions teacher? The person who would definitely know how to do that, if it were at all possible? But okay, maybe that's a bad example because the potions teacher is a sociopath, so maybe she wouldn't help out. What about Caraway? Caraway would definitely know how to do something like that. In fact, why don't they tell any of the teachers about this situation at all? The teachers are supposedly trained guardians and are probably very smart, so why the heck don't they ask them for help, or at least tell them about the fact that a cat girl is trying to pop a cap in their asses? Believe it or not, they do actually give an explanation for this. Let's hear it.
Why is the triumvirate after us?
I know people in which country. I can ask around.
No, we don't want to tip them off. We need to find Olive.
She came after us and failed. She will come back.
Then we should tell the Triad what's happening.
Or Caraway at least.
We can't. You heard her. The Academy's crawling with spies. If we tell anyone, we'll be overheard.
What?
So they don't tell the teachers because of spies. Spies are the reason they don't tell the teachers. I'm not making it up. You just heard it for yourself right there. That's their actual explanation as to why they don't ask for help from the talented people that could help them. Now, ignoring the very obvious fact that Olive could have just been fucking lying, I mean, they don't have any evidence of these spies outside of Olive existing, and why would they trust the obvious villain trying to kill them? Even if there are a ton of dime a dozen backstabbing scumbags trying to get them, they're already aware that you're aware. They know that you know. If you were to make the triad, the teachers, pretty much everyone in the school aware of this, it would make it a lot more difficult for them to cover their tracks. You already saw how just one of these people was able to turn an entire town into stone. By not telling the others, you're putting people's lives at risk. For all they know, another spy could come out of the woodworks tomorrow and try to kill people. And guess what? That's exactly what happens. Another spy, Mandrake, comes out of the woodworks and nearly gets the entire staff killed. How fucking stupid do you have to be to think it's in any way a good idea to keep this secret? And to add insult to injury, the person who suggests this idea is Thyme, someone who's supposed to be intelligent. The only rational excuse I can come up with as to why they don't want to talk to the teachers is maybe they think the teachers won't believe them. It is kind of a sketchy story to say that a cat girl came out of nowhere and turned the entire town to stone and nobody noticed. But do you honestly think that if parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme, snapdragon, amaryllis, and frickin' Neppy Cat of all people came to Caraway and told him this story urgently, that he wouldn't at least investigate it? But even if you don't think they'll believe the stuff about the cat girl, the stuff about the rot is pretty apparent. The evidence is everywhere and it should be widely known at this point. The Guardians, if there are any, should be aware of this rot and should be working to try and fix it. Are they just blind to the world around them? Are they that dumb? The answer is yes, they are that dumb. They're idiots because the writers want them to be. If the main four had a single brain cell to share among themselves and they actually decided to tell the teachers about this, then a lot of problems could have been avoided. Both Olive and Mandrake's plan probably would have been hampered pretty easily if everyone was aware and alert at the time that they tried to invade the school. The story could have played out very differently if the girls did make the teachers aware of the rot and also the people trying to kill them. And since this would mess with the writer's grand plan, if there even was a plan, they decide to make the girls idiots and not tell anyone. But you know what, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe telling Caraway to help wouldn't do anything at all, because let's face it, Caraway's kind of an idiot too. He blasts Mandrake straight out of a window, and instead of going quickly to finish him off by, I don't know, sniping him with a sleep spell or a laser blast, he just sits there and does nothing while he gets up and runs away. He also could have yelled down to the crowd of students who are trained warriors to say, "Hey, get that guy!" Even if he was worried that the students might get hurt if they tried that, there's no reason for him to think that Mandrake won't try to hurt the other students already or take a hostage. So he should be yelling at them to defend themselves and also saying he's a shapeshifter as quickly as possible. Once again, this is basically a military academy filled with people who know how to fight. Even if Mandrake's really skilled, I highly doubt he'll be able to take on that many students along with Caraway all at the same time. There are a million ways Caraway could have restrained Mandrake or stopped him from going on his little rampage later on down the line. But of course, since that would mess with the writer's plan, they decide to make him a moron and he ends up getting captured anyway. So way to go, guys. You made your intelligent mentor character a hapless idiot with no skill whatsoever. Are you proud? Are you happy? It's like everywhere you turn in this show, there's another idiot. The teachers are stupid. The students are stupid. The villains are stupid. Everyone's stupid. And for what? So you can make these stories happen? Is it really worth making all of your characters brain-dead morons when they're supposed to be smart, just because you want to have a dumb plot beat occur every once in a while? If there's one thing that I want to get through these writers' brains, is that having smart characters doesn't have to interfere with your story. There are ways that you can make all of this work. It just needs to make sense, and that takes effort. I'm over-exaggerating, I know, but it really annoys me when the writers want the audience to believe something, but the evidence on screen completely contradicts it. I just can't believe that these characters are intelligent when they make stupid decisions all the time. It feels like the story is fighting itself. It just doesn't... Oh my god, Purnell just tried to kill himself on screen. I forgot that happened in the scene. What the So to put it bluntly, you could say this show is inconsistent. Insufferably inconsistent. Actually, I should have titled the video that. That would have been funny. But regardless, the writers are trying to pass some of these characters off as being somewhat intelligent, and that doesn't make any sense because they make stupid decisions all the time. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
That's why I'm saying, doesn't add up. Say it again, doesn't add up. Makes you feel better? Doesn't add up.
Now, I could go off ranting for another half hour about all the times the characters act like idiots, but you get the point by now. They're dumb. Hell, the comments section of this video is probably going to be filled with paragraphs of people talking about all the times they saw the characters act like idiots already, so just read those. As for me, I think I'm going to cut things short here. I got shit to do. Farewell, my friends. I look forward to when you see my next video, if it ever comes out.
Hey girl, you're really tipping the scales of sexy.
What?